Hello class, my name is Breland Rosenberg and I'm currently a medic in the United States Army. Today I'm going to inform you on how communication is used to save lives. When someone gets injured during a deployment, a medical evacuation helicopter can be en route to your position in just a few minutes. How is this possible? This is possible because the military has standardized communication for medevacs. Communication is a large part of the military success rates and has saved thousands of lives during the current engagement with NATO forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. There's a term called the golden hour for medical evacuation time. The golden hour is from the time injuries are sustained and the time the casualty is on an operating table with a full surgical team. For the medical evacuation to start, first a SIP rep must be sent up to your unit, and while the medic is assessing the casualties and performing life-saving interventions, a 9-line medevac request will be sent directly to the nearest medevac request unit in the area through secure radios and confirmed back through the repeat back communication. Repeat back communication is if I were to say series numbers 3124, the person on the other end of the radio would say, I copy 3124 to ensure that everything on the medevac request is accurate. This is what a medevac request looks like. It is of 9 lines, hence the 9-line medevac request, and it simply states your location, your call sign, how many patients you have, what kind of patients you have, any kind of equipment needed for your patients to ensure their success rate. It also improves security of the pickup site, whether there's enemy in the area, if there's no enemy in the area, and also lets them know what nationality the casualty is from. Direct communication is used because the medic on scene usually does not call in the 9-line medevac. The medical on scene will be performing medical interventions to try to save the lives of the casualties and stabilize them on the battlefield, while the radio transmitter operator, known as the RTO, will call up the 9-line medevac request. Before the helicopter arrives, the medic will communicate his interventions and any injuries sustained on the casualties via a TC3 card. This is what a TC3 card looks like. A TC3 card simply states the name, the injury sustained. You have a picture of a front and back of a patient where you would write any kind of gunshot wounds, any kind of amputations with lines, and you would say what kind of vitals you had on the patient. So you put the time, and here you put the vitals. Here you would do the airway of the patient, the breathing of the patient, and the circulation of the patient in this column here. Here you would do any kind of fluid you gave them, if you gave any, and here any kind of medication to address pain or antibiotics, and down here you would comment anywhere if anything else on this form you need to add that wasn't there before. When the helicopter arrives, it is very noisy on the battlefield. The engines alone will silence out any kind of verbal communication you have. This is why a TC3 card is very important. Once a TC3 card is filled out, it is attached to the casualty and will stay on the casualty until they arrive in the hospital. You don't always have time to fill out a TC3 card on the battlefield, so sometimes a piece of tape and Sharpie and you just write down what you did is all you have time for. Between standardized communication, direct communication, and repeat back communication, medical evacuations are at an all-time high for success. With communications leading to a higher survival rate in medical evacuations, it is important to understand the basics of communication and how bad communication can cause the lives of military and civilian personnel. Communication is something that is expected from everyone on the battlefield, and everyone on the battlefield should be competent in their abilities to communicate. While communication in the military is at an all-time high, there is still room for improvement because one mistake with communication is one mistake too many. Thank you.